Spontaneous Sportsman. I'm here at Navajo Lake. I'm going to try some salmon snagging. The limit here is 12 for snagging salmon. They're dying right now, so you're allowed to snag 12 of them. Make sure you have a New Mexico fishing license. Navajo Lake's over here by Farmington. It's the Monday before Thanksgiving. Let me just show you the gear we're going to use. This is a snagging weight. It's got 3 treble hooks on it. This weight in the middle here can be anywhere from a 1/4 ounce to 1 ounce, depending on how fast you want this to sink. So this sinks to the bottom, then the snagger pulls it in an upward motion. It goes back to the bottom, and you keep trying to snag them. They're usually laying eggs on the bottom, so this will be what snags them. I'm using a couple of pretty stout rods, ugly sticks with spinning reels. One of these is a Penn Captiva. The other one is a Shimano Sedona, spooled with it's a Sedona 4000 spooled with braided line on both. They're pretty stout rods, these ugly sticks. They're medium heavy action, 6 foot for this one. And this other one is going to be a 7 foot medium action. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to do a shameless plug now. Hampton Farms out of North Carolina. They sell this at Walmart. These are called hot nuts, and they're flavored with hatch chili. They're really hot. If you like spicy things, get these nuts. So this is what I was after today. Kokanee salmon. Only got one, but it's better than nothing. So I'm going to show you how to kind of gut it. So the first thing I do with some scissors is start from the anal opening, and I snip upward, being careful not to puncture the guts. This is a female, and you know that by the male have a really hooked jaw here. But this is a female, and she's full of eggs, which are good to use for trout. So what I'll also do is cut. What I did earlier today is I cut the gills. I cut the gills, and then so the fish bleeds out, so there's no blood left. And I'll cut the head off. And all these things can go back in the lake. Usually this roe is good for trout, which I think I'll keep. This roe sack, it's called a roe sack, inside this garbage bag here. And that can be cured to catch trout with. And what I'm going to do is get the guts out. So see all these guts here. There's not a whole bunch, but keep these out here. Trying to show you guys that's right, real orange inside. And take out all the guts here. So that's your clean salmon. And usually what I'll do is I'll cut this tail off here. Fits better in a Ziploc. Since the last video, I was able to catch a total of 4 salmon, and most of those were caught right before dark. I caught the one that I filmed and gave that one away to my parents, and these 3 here are the ones I caught right before dark. So as you can see, I've taken off the head and the tail, kept the bodies here. Now I'm going to just take off the fillet with the skin on it from both sides, and then we're going to season it and let it marinate. So what you want to do is take your knife, your fillet knife, and go about mid-body, and you're going to work your way along that backbone. Get right against the bone as much as you can, and since you're going to be using the skin, you don't have to be too careful here. So you're just going to cut all the way to the tail, and then you're going to work your knife along the top. So what I'm doing is working it along this backbone as much as I can. You'll feel that bone, and then you're going to meet the rib cage, and you're just going to work it all the way down the ribs on this piece of salmon. So as you can see, this salmon is quite orange colored. I'm going to try to get as much meat as I can off of this fillet here. And basically, that is your fillet right there. You know, you can leave a few things connected, but that's your fillet. And then you can cut off these fins. You don't need these fins here. I'm going to cut them off. There's no need to have these fins. So the lesson here was to always stay till the end. So if I hadn't stayed till dark, I would not have caught these additional 4 salmon. I would have left with 1 salmon snagged. So basically, that's the lesson. Always stay to the end. And now that's your fillet, and that's going to go in here, and then we're going to season these guys and eat these for dinner. And so now we did that one side, now we're going to turn it over and do the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fillet the other 2, and then I'll show you guys how I season these guys once I'm done filleting the other 2. Okay, here we have our finished salmon fillets. What we're going to do first is we're going to take a lime, a whole lime, and we're going to put some lime juice on the meat side of these guys. So since we have a total of 6 fillets from 3 fish, we're going to use half a lime for each 3 fillets. So we got these ones done. Now we're going to do these ones. And then we're also going to do half a lemon on these guys. So these are going to marinate in the refrigerator till tonight for about 8 hours. So we got all our fillets done there. We're going to do some Team Catfish Gourmet Fish Seasoning. Even though it says catfish, we're going to use it on salmon. Make sure you get this on here pretty liberally. The other thing I like to do is put some garlic salt on these guys. Some generic great value garlic salts. Get some of this guy on here. Comes out rather fast. A little bit more of this one on here. And then finish it up with some tarragon leaves. The tarragon goes naturally with salmon. It's more traditional with the salmon. So once you got these seasoned pretty well, what I like to do before we put them in the fridge is put them skin to skin. I mean meat to meat. That way they stay nice and juicy. And try to match them up pretty nice, meat to meat. And get that tail there and meat to meat. And then we just leave it there in the fridge till we're ready to cook it. So we're gonna melt this butter, enough butter to cover the fish fillets, the salmon fillets. We're gonna cover this and steam it for about 6 minutes. There they are with the butter. We're going to cover them. Make sure the butter is on top. And we're going to set this for 6 minutes. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Want to make sure as you're cooking it to turn so the flame hits all those fillets evenly.
This is what the final salmon looks like after you're done. 6 minutes under butter. Cover it, you're poaching it, and that's the final product right there. Delicious.